So on Thursday, March 30th, the Parish Procurement Department opened the quotes for the South Slidell roof replacement capital project. And we are waiting to hear which roofing company received the contract, but it did come in under budget. So it actually came in for the amount pretty close to what the original budget was before we added more money to the project. So the maintenance department moved out of the annex building on Highway 36 as of March 31st, and they are working out of their small satellite office in the Slidell, behind the Slidell branch, and out of their trucks. Most of their tools, equipment, and supplies are in storage. And work began at the new annex building on Commercial Way on April the 3rd. And because of the noise level, the demolition of the tile flooring and the grinding of the concrete floor was done after hours so as not to disturb the neighboring office. Work is progressing as expected with only a couple of small change orders, so we're doing pretty good. For IT, as part of its continuing efforts to ensure data security and improve information risk management, the library used Lockstep Technology Group's expertise to perform an internal penetration test. We had an external one previously. This was the internal one. They said that we had a moderately strong internal security posture for the targets and the scope of the engagement. And they reported that the IT team should be commended for its work to maintain a secure environment. They did offer a few recommendations, and IT will be implementing those. As far as marketing and outreach, we've had quite a lot going on. Tanya DiMaggio, Assistant Director of Support Services, and Jennifer Ruffino, Teen Services Coordinator, toured the North Shore Food Bank on April 3rd. Tanya, Jennifer, and they also gave out information about the library along with coloring sheets and packs of crayons to children at the Kiwanis of Greater Covington Youth Wellness Fair on April 8th. Jackie Rickey, our PR and Community Coordinator, and Kelly Nelson, the Covington Reference Librarian, and Emily Steffen, the Madisonville Reference Librarian, spoke on the highway and the lake radio stations on April 14th. The library was showcased as April's host for the St. Tammany Commission on Families meeting on April 11th. Jackie Rickey, Jennifer Ruffino, Jenny Mayer, and Children's Services Coordinator, the Children's Services Coordinator, they were all in attendance. Jennifer, Charlene, Erica Dawson, and Jessica Oakland presented outreach at the Junior League Girls Health Day at Lakeview Hospital on April 1st. Erica Dawson, the Children's Librarian at Causeway, performed story time at Fontainebleau Children's Academy on April 10th with 50 children in attendance and 7 adults. Sarah Oakland, Barrick Reich, Kelly Nelson, all the reference librarians held the North Shore Leadership Senior to Senior Tech Help at the Slidell Coast Center on April 17th. Barrett Reich and Ellen John, reference coordinator, held the Tech Talk orientation for seniors at North Shore High School on April 4th. Susan Badon, the children's librarian at Madisonville, performed storytime at Kids Clubhouse in Madisonville on March 31st. And Jessica Oakland, the children's librarian from Mandeville branch, performed storytime at the Kinderhouse Montessori Mandeville on April 17th and the Kids Clubhouse Mandeville on March 27th and April 19th. So Food for Fines started today in celebration of National Library Week and will last until May 6th at all branches. $1 will be waived from fees for every non-perishable food item donated at the library. At the end of the program, the food will be donated to the North Shore Food Bank, the Samaritan Center, and the First Baptist Church of Slidell. Byron Holdeman, Genealogy Library in Covington Branch, held an event on the French influence in Covington. At the Causeway Branch, we had 55 patrons attend. Kelly Nelson, the reference librarian at Covington, held a Beta Tech Time event on April 4th at the Abita branch, and Byron Holdeman, genealogy librarian, hosted genealogy time at Abita, Madisonville, and Causeway in April. Under professional development, Tanya, Jenny Meyer, Jennifer Ruffino, and 5 children's librarians, 2 branch managers, attended the Faye Kegler Children's Book Festival at the University of Southern Mississippi, April 12th through 14th. And Tanya attended the Association for Library Services to Children Research Committee on April 20th. Let's see here. We had all of the people who make summer reading go, the branch managers, department coordinators, children's, teen, adult reference librarians. They attended the Summer Reading Challenge workshop at the Madisonville Library. It's our big build up to summer reading, and everyone gets all of the information they need. And it was a success. Byron, the genealogy librarian, attended the Connect Our Kids training in A-Meet on March 29th and attended a virtual Illinois State Genealogical Society planning meeting on April 13th. And Ellen John attended the Southeastern Library Association and Technical Services Section conference. So under webinar attendance, we had 5 staff members attend the Librarian's Guide to Homelessness. Emily Steffen, reference librarian, attended Pennies in the Cup, a webinar on how to serve homeless patrons on March 30th. Kelly Nelson, a reference librarian, attended the YALSA webinar on staff safety and did Candid training webinar on March 28th. Candid is our, it is the database, a collection of databases for not-for-profit organizations searching for funding. Under finance, the auditor visited us the week of March 27th. So the audit is complete. We had no findings. This is the first year that entities in St. Tammany Parish are part of the statewide agreed upon procedures. Previously, we were tested in 2 or 3 categories at a time. Now, with the statewide procedures, we were tested in all categories at the same time. In the agreed upon procedures, one of the suggestions is that every staff member has their own cash drawer, which is not something that we have done before. So we will see if the auditor is going to require that of us, because at a branch, you know, you could easily have 30 different people in the day who might be on the desk, and so that would require a change, a significant change in operations. And with some branches only receiving maybe $5 a day, when you're talking about a small branch, that would be something different. So that was the only thing that was noted in the agreed upon procedures. But we had, as far as the regular audit, it was completely clean. So we were very happy about that. Our new file clerk started on April 17th. Her name is Emily Pendle. We are very happy to have her. Under public records requests, we received 19 public records requests since the beginning of November 2022. 8 are currently outstanding. The outstanding requests consist of extensive email searches that are in line for redaction and combinations of electronic and paper documents that we need to be sorted and organized to ensure completeness of the records. The library interviewed candidates for a full-time position to help with the public records requests. We previously had no one person responsible for this, and we needed this help moving forward. Emily Pendle, who I just mentioned, accepted the position and started last week, so she's going through training right now. To date, the library has received 203 statements of concern on 163 titles since August 2022. The most recent statement of concern was submitted on March 17th. The library board will be deciding the next 4 titles. Originally, we had scheduled a special meeting for May 1st, but we had some scheduling conflicts, so that is now going to happen on May 22nd at 6:30 p.m. here. We're considering having a special meeting to handle more books after that on June 5th. But for right now, that May 22nd meeting was a regular meeting date, and so we are planning on handling those 4 books then. The library staff continues to read titles, hold meetings, and make recommendations. The remaining statements of concern are still pending review. And then we have the contracts that came up for this month. Tanya, do you want to handle that?
Sure. So this is not a new contract, but Amanda worked with Unity. We had separate contracts for each location for our phone services, and so the contract was rewritten so it's all together and they renew concurrently. And we pay a monthly charge of $3,363 for all of the phone lines, and then we pay a monthly flat fee of 0.035 cents per minute on calls. And that hasn't changed. It's just that all the contracts have been combined into one. We have contracted with BiblioCommons, who does our website for a new product called BiblioSuggest for $5,336.08, and that is going to help us manage our patron suggestions more efficiently. SHI, we contracted for a new cybersecurity service at $2,839.79. That's on the state contract. Also with SHI, we renewed our SolarWinds contract for $8,465.08. SolarWinds is the software that runs the ticketing system for the maintenance, the IT, and the supply requests for the branches. Also on state contract. We renewed with Transformix for our cloud security system for $6,820. That's also on state contract. We also renewed the New York Times Online for 3 $1,946.80, and the New England Historical Genealogical Society membership renewed for $270.
So then that brings us to the statistics for March. Total circulation for March was 77,818 items. We had 8,570 uses of the computer. The door count was 51,635 people coming in our doors. Wireless usage inside is 8,631, and wireless outside 7,191. We had 604 patrons register last month. I also have the service statistics for year-to-date, the first quarter. Total circulation, 222,433. Computer usage, 22,948. The door count, 140,302 visits to the library. Wireless inside, 26,154, and wireless outside, 21,792 uses. Total patrons registered so far this year, getting a library card, 1,914. This was the month, April 1st is when our state library report was due of all of the statistics from 2022. So I have any of those to hand if you've got any questions about last year.
All right. Do members of the board have any questions regarding the director's report? I do have a question. I think it's time, if you don't mind, Kelly, refresh us how many branches we have and how many other locations where other services are going on, and then I have some other questions.
Okay, so we have 12 locations. There's 6 what we consider large branches and 6 small branches. Large branches have longer hours. So, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 9 to 5 Friday and Saturday. The small branches are open Monday through Friday. Wednesday is shifted to be later in the evening, but they are open from 10 to 6. And then on Wednesday, it is 12 to 8.
And our branches are located all over St. Tammany Parish, from north to east to south to west.
Yes, we have 12 locations spread throughout the entire parish. We also have 2 support locations. One is the annex, which houses our technical services department and maintenance. And then we have the administration building because we moved out of the Covington branch to give them more space. And that houses administration and IT and use department heads, things like that.
And how many actual, do you have the figure for how many public service hours come out of those library branches?
So last year, public service hours were 30,200 hours that we were open. There are hours that the library is not open that, we are working as well. But those were the public service hours for last year.
And how many library staff members are currently on the payroll, both full-time and part-time?
So we have 150 staff members, 108 of them are full-time, 42 of them are part-time.
And the library system is responsible for insurance, all the utilities, maintenance on these buildings, anything else related to the buildings?
So we are not the owner of the buildings, but we are responsible for everything else. So maintenance, and if there's capital improvements that need to be made also. But everything that we talk about in the financial report, whatever makes the library go, that's what our taxes cover.
And we could be considered one of the 6 top library systems in the state.
In size, yes.
Any board members have any other questions?
Are all positions filled with staff?
We just filled part-time positions.
Right now, we have 2 full-time positions open and about 4 part-time positions.
All of our librarian positions are filled.
All right. Any other board members have questions? If not, thank you, Kelly. And do we have any public comment on the director's report?
There's no public comment on item 2B.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the